Good morning, Franklin students and staff. Happy Monday. I'm talking to you today while you were in your homerooms about an upcoming student survey that you're going to take here later this morning at the conclusion of this video. What we're looking for is for you students to be informed of the work that your teachers are doing here this year. So I appreciate your attention here these next couple minutes as we go through the information that's important for you, but also important for your teachers. Now, in just a little bit, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the important work that your teachers are doing that's called the IDI. But I want to give you a little bit of background because just as you students are coming to school each and every single day to learn something, your teachers are also not only instructing you, but they're learners themselves. So I want to talk to you about something that our building is doing this year that all of our staff is participating in. That's our teachers, that's our paraeducating staff, and that's our secretarial staff. Because it's important that staff, just like you, are learning, that we're reflecting, and that we're working to help you each and every single day. In the previous slide, I talked to you about the important work known as IDI. I'm going to spend a little bit of time now. This is a large piece of information, but I'm trying to break it down for you as students 6th, 7th, and 8th grade to understand that work that your teachers are doing. Now, IDI stands for the Intercultural Development Inventory. And what that does is assesses intercultural competence and the capability to shift cultural perspective and appropriately adapt behavior to cultural differences and commonalities. All right, now that's a lot of information and you're probably looking at each other, looking at the screen, or just daydreaming like, I have no clue what you're talking about. So I want to break it down into 3 separate terms that are important. Number 1, culture. Now, hopefully in your classes, whether it be language arts or your social studies class, you have talked about the idea of culture. Now, culture is the customary beliefs, the social forms, and the material traits of a racial, religious, or social group. Now, intercultural. Break that word down. Intercultural means between or involving 2 or more cultures. And then lastly, that competence is the ability to do something successfully or efficiently. So when we break this down to IDI, the Intercultural Development Inventory, it's how us as educators, whether it be secretarial, teaching, or paraeducating staff, are working between the different cultures that make up Franklin Middle School. All right, now let's talk about the work that staff members are doing and how you students will play a part in that process. So staff members have taken what's called the IDI assessment, and that's a number of different questions that help them determine where they're at on this large continuum. And what they're looking to accomplish is develop a plan to move them along this continuum. So teachers are also using surveys as a source for improvement as well. So you as students are going to take this multiple times. Today is the pre-test or the first survey that you are going to take, and we'll continue to take them throughout the year. So again, you as your teachers are being learners themselves as we go through this process. All right, we're going to talk through how this involves you, the students. Now, in just a little bit, the teacher in front of the classroom is going to hand out a survey to each student. This is done on a green sheet of paper, and there's 6 questions. But everybody within that classroom is going to take that survey for their homeroom teacher. Now, this homeroom teacher is the first person that you saw the first day of school, and it's somebody that you see either once or twice a day, depending upon if you have them for a core class or an exploratory class as well. Now, just some brief details about this survey. This is completely anonymous. We don't want any name. We don't want your name anywhere on this survey. That's not important. We only want you to circle one answer for each question. And one thing that you're going to find with each question, all the answers are the exact same. You either strongly disagree, you disagree, you neither agree nor disagree, you agree, or you strongly agree. Again, that's 5 choices. For each of the 6 questions, you are going to circle only one answer for each question. Do not circle more than one answer because you can't determine which one it identifies or which one you identify most closely with. You're only going to select and circle one particular answer. And the last thing that you're going to really do is you're not going to write any additional comments. So this should be a very brief survey. You're going to read the question and you're going to answer it, again, based upon your experience with your homeroom teacher. Again, no comments are needed, no names are needed, but again, it shouldn't take a very long period of time. But again, this is based for your homeroom teacher. One thing that we feel, and I'm going to reference back to something I mentioned on the first couple slides, is that you, the students, also understand that we as staff members, your teachers, anyone that comes across, you're also learners themselves. We're constantly trying to get better at the work that we do to ultimately help how we instruct and assess the efforts that you put into each and every single day during the school year. So here's what's next. So the students here, just in a little bit of time, you're going to take the survey. What your teachers are going to do is to review the data that you provide for them. Then as a building, we're going to compile all the data. So all the teachers are going to put all this data together to see how we as a building are doing. And then we're going to use that data to help make a plan moving forward. So we appreciate the effort that you are going to put in your honesty, again, by only selecting one answer for each question, so we can get some feedback about our practice and how we are working to instruct you. And lastly, I want to thank you for your time here this morning. At this time, your teachers can hand out those student surveys and go ahead and get to work. Have a great day.